So let's talk a bit about what's going on right now. There's some upcoming fights where rumor has it that Shakur Stevenson is going to be facing Teofimo Lopez. Do you want to give a prediction on that?
I feel like, that's kind of like one of them 50-50 fights. Teo's a real athletic fighter, he's a skillful, powerful fighter as well. And Shakur, is a very smart boxer, got the range, and his overall boxing IQ. And I feel like, Shakur is a real hard guy to beat. It's like, it's a style it's hard to fight a style like that. He does what he wants in there and controls the pace, everything. So I guess we just got to see how it turns out. I guess I'll probably lean towards Shakur, maybe slightly, but we'll have to see. Time will tell.
Devin Haney, I just caught up with him in Saudi Arabia last week, and there's obviously a lot that can happen for him now at 147. We have the talks of Ryan Garcia potentially facing Barrios, and then him maybe getting the winner of that fight. There's just a lot that we can do with that division now. Just your thoughts on Devin Haney's performance and a potential rematch against Ryan Garcia.
It was an amazing performance. He did his thing. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He neutralized Brian Norman and just, made it real easy on himself and put on a great show. And for a rematch, I would like to see a rematch. There was a lot of talks, with Ryan and with the Austrian and stuff. It boosted his performance and stuff. So I'd like to see, when they rematch, without it, when he tests clean and stuff, and see how it matches up. Because the fight was a good fight. Ryan's power controlled it. Every time he would catch Devin with a clean shot, he was dropping him and stuff. But other than that, between the rounds, the fight was a really good fight actually. It was still a close fight, but without the knockdown. So we'll have to see without the Austrian. Yes.
Conor Benn was there, ringside. He was making a lot of motions, like putting his head down on Eddie's shoulder, implying that Devin's boring. What are your thoughts on maybe a matchup there? Who would you favor if they did fight?
With Devin and Conor Benn? I feel like I'll lean towards Devin for sure. I feel like he'll outbox Conor Benn, just kind of do the same thing he did to Brian Norman, just, neutralize him and just do what he wants, make it easy.
Manny Pacquiao back being active again. How does he do against the likes of, say, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, if Ryan does go on to defeat Barrios?
I feel like it might be a little over the hedge for Manny as far as like them young, hungry champions. But I feel like Mario Barrios is probably the perfect fight for him because he's like, Mario is still a young guy, yes, and he's a champion, but he's not quite at the level that the Ryan or the Devins are, or the Shakur, like at that top level. So it's a good fight for Manny. He can still hang in there, but I feel like if he fights some younger, more higher up champions, it's going to be trouble for him. Yeah.
Does Barrios beat Ryan Garcia if the fight happens?
I'm not sure. It's possible for sure. Barrios is a tough guy. It brings a lot of pressure. I feel like in that fight I'll lean towards Ryan though, for sure. Yeah.
And before we get on to you, I just want to know, everyone is so split, or not, I don't mean split as in who they think is going to win, but just in terms of opinion on Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua sharing a ring. Like, I never ever saw that coming. What were your thoughts when you heard that it was actually happening?
Yeah, I was real surprised. I didn't think Jake would fight no real fighter like that. But I was just surprised, and I was like, oh yeah, AJ gonna knock him out. For sure.
And what's going on with you? When can we expect you back in the ring? Any news?
Yeah, I should be back in the ring around like early next year, January, February. I'm looking forward to. So, I'm just sitting in the gym, steady working, just waiting on the call.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. It's lovely to meet you, and hopefully we'll see you back in the ring soon.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye, fans.